Hey, you guys, I am Sissy Goff, and I'm the Director of Child and Adolescent Counseling at Daystar Counseling in Nashville, Tennessee. And I wanted to help with a question that we're asked a lot at Daystar, which is, how can I find a counselor for my child in other cities? And so there are a few things that we would recommend thinking about in terms of that. One is, the first place I would start is to call your pediatrician, your school, or your local church and ask them for a list of referrals. Actually, I might call all three, because anytime you hear a name more than once, that would help you know more specifically that person has helped a lot of people. So I would start with making those phone calls. Second, ask some trusted friends. Same idea. If you hear a name repetitively, I would start there. Number three, I would go in and interview the counselor yourself, because you want to ask some questions. You want to get a feel for what they're like as a person. And in terms of questions, I would ask them what kind of training they have specifically working with kids, because you don't necessarily want a counselor unless there are no other options. You don't want a counselor who works with adults and one child or adolescent every so often. You want somebody who's got more experience than that. I would also ask them, what kind of involvement does the parent have? Because at Daystar, for example, we meet with parents every third session. Now, we talk a lot about confidentiality and the bounds therein that we can talk about with parents, but it is very important to us for the parents to be involved, because whatever your child's learning at home, learning and counseling, you want to be able to reinforce at home. And so would recommend asking if you can meet with the counselor regularly. And then lastly, I think I would pay attention to your gut when you're with that person, because basically the things that are going to matter the most are the counselor's warmth and their ability to connect with your child. I feel like the best counselors are really warm and can say hard things when they need to. You know, we talk at Daystar so often about how we're not saying anything different to the kids that are in counseling with us than you are as their parents, but we're a new voice. And so you want them to be able to say those things to your kids, but you want them to be able to say it in a warm, caring, nurturing way. So the combination of those two things is really important. And trust your gut as a parent, because that is what matters the absolute most.